Good evening. The time is 9 p.m. U.S. Central Time. This program is coming to you live from Chicago. In the news at this hour, our top story, Hurricane Laura has increased in intensity to an extremely dangerous storm, currently Category 4, and will possibly strengthen to Category 5 in the next few hours before it strikes land. More details in our weather report coming up. In other news, a 17-year-old has been arrested in connection with a fatal shooting in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He launched the attack just before midnight last night as at a protest which had been sparked by the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Blake, a black man, was killed when Kenosha police fired over the weekend. The suspect is Kyle Rittenhouse of Antioch, Illinois. He was taken into custody earlier today and is being held in Lake County, Illinois jail pending extradition. Two people were killed, a 26-year-old from Silver Lake and a 36-year-old from Kenosha. An additional 26-year-old victim from West Allis, Wisconsin, was injured and is expected to survive. Governor Tony Evers had declared a state of emergency in Kenosha, a town about 40 miles southeast of Milwaukee, just hours before the unrest. An attorney for Blake says police still have not given a reason for shooting him, as his children looked on from the inside of the family car. Blake is hospitalized and paralyzed from the waist down. Meanwhile, in Louisville, Kentucky, at least 68 people were arrested as protesters gathered to demand answers about the March police shooting death of Breonna Taylor. A criminal investigation has been opened into that case. Melania Trump addressed the Republican National Convention at its second session last night, attempting to strike an empathetic tone. Mrs. Trump acknowledged the threat of the coronavirus and the sacrifices it has required. However, other appearances at the event were not so well received. House Democrats have opened an investigation into Secretary of State Mike Pompeo's pre-recorded remarks from Jerusalem, which criticized China and called COVID-19 the China virus. Not only is it highly unusual for secretaries of state to tread into partisan politics, but critics say his high profile at the convention violates the Hatch Act, a law which restricts federal employees from engaging in partisan politics while on duty. Jerry Falwell Jr., who resigned from the post of president of Liberty University, the religious college founded by his late father, will receive $10.5 million as a severance package. Falwell resigned late Monday after a series of scandals came to light. He has stated he will receive about $2.5 million during the next 2 years and another $8 million thereafter. Falwell told the Washington Post his contract with the school entitles him to the payments because he is departing without being formally accused nor admitting to any wrongdoing. CNN reports that a sudden change in federal guidelines on coronavirus testing came this week as a result of pressure from the Trump administration. The new guidelines raised the bar on who should get tested, advising that some people without symptoms probably don't need it, even if they have been in close contact with an infected person. Elizabeth Cohen, senior medical correspondent for CNN, blasts the new guidelines as ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. The CDC used to say if you've had close contact with someone with coronavirus, meaning within 6 feet of them for 15 minutes or more, you should get tested. Now they're saying you should consider getting tested, but you might not need to unless you're a vulnerable person, which usually means older or have an underlying health condition, or your doctor or local public health official tells you to. People who are exposed to someone with coronavirus should get tested. Experts will tell you that that is the case. Why wouldn't you want to get tested?
Cohen said Trump's new policy will actually encourage the spread of the virus. because it lulls people without symptoms into a false sense of security. Here is our nightly coronavirus update. Health experts say the virus pattern may involve rolling hotspots, where parts of the country are affected by increased outbreaks, while others temporarily trend downward. Schools are turning into hotspots. The University of Alabama reported more than 500 cases less than a week after classes started. At Ohio State, more than 220 students were suspended for violating pandemic precautions. And in one of the more worrisome statistics, more than 70,000 new COVID-19 cases have been reported in children since early August, making a 21% increase nationwide in just 2 weeks. Here are the latest numbers from the U.S. Center for Disease Control. Total cases in the country now stand at 5,800,000, up from yesterday's estimate by 38,000. The estimated death toll now stands at 178,000, up from yesterday's figure by 1,100. More news in just a moment. The time is 9:06 p.m.
America, your children have an amazing superpower. That's right. They can help save lives by simply washing their hands. Just 20 seconds of thorough hand washing after they've coughed or sneezed or been outside can help fight against the dastardly spread of germs. Armed with only soap and water and hands, your superhero can protect you, your family, and everyone out there in America land. Amazing! Find out more at coronavirus.gov. A message from the CDC and the Ad Council.
In today's economic news, applications for home mortgages rose a modest 0.4% last week versus the prior week, but that is still a remarkable 33% higher than the year-ago figure. This, according to the American Mortgage Bankers Association. Pent-up demand from the disastrous spring market and the new stay-at-home mindset have combined to send more consumers rushing into the real estate arena. Low mortgage rates are also adding a strong incentive. On Wall Street, upward movement across the three major indexes today. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up 83 at 28,332. NASDAQ rose 199 to finish at 11,665. And the S&P 500 ended at 3,479. That's plus 35 points. Now here's the weather report. Hurricane Laura has greatly intensified, now at Category 4, the second most powerful designation on the hurricane intensity scale. The current path of the storm looks to be taking it somewhere toward the border of Louisiana and Texas at the Gulf of Mexico. The center of the storm is approximately 80 miles offshore at the present time, moving north-northwest at 15 miles per hour. So landfall is expected sometime around 2 a.m. Those states are in the central time zone, so roughly 5 hours from now. The estimate refers, of course, to the eye of the hurricane coming ashore. It is already pelting the coastal areas with heavy rain and wind as it makes its way northward. The hurricane is registering 150-mile-per-hour winds, which is just 7 miles per hour short of Category 5. The National Hurricane Center just issued a bulletin in the past hour warning of possible tornadoes in parts of southeastern Louisiana and southwestern Mississippi. For Chicagoland, dog days of August. Here we are. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 77. Tomorrow, Thursday, sunny and hot with actual temperature near 95. Heat index could take us up to about 100. Slight rain chance, 20% mid-afternoon. Breezy, if it's helpful to blow the hot air around. West winds up to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, 30% rain chance in the late hours and into early morning. Overnight low around 77. Our current conditions, a few clouds, very warm, 86 degrees at Midway Airport. Lakefront, not much better at 84. Relative humidity 48% and a southwest wind at 13 miles per hour. AccuWeather radar is all clear. The time is 9:10 p.m. And once again, here at Radio City, we have 84 devilish degrees.
Live from Chicago, Variety Broadcast presents Radio Classics. Now, here's your host, Tom Edwards.
Starting us off with an appropriate number, the music of Chaka Khan. I'm Every Woman. Why do I say that is appropriate? Well, because today happens to be Women's Equality Day. All right, Wednesday, the 26th of August, as we check our listings on nationaltoday.com. Ooh, isn't that a pretty little ditty? Once more, nationaltoday.com. I love it. Yes, today has been proclaimed Women's Equality Day, and we have a second honorable mention today. It is National Dog Day. What do you think of that? Yes, I'm glad. Put it to a vote. We have an editorial that will come later in the program. Somebody is not too happy about National Dog Day, but, you know, broadcasting is an equal time thing, remember? Okay. Well, let's see. It's 9:14, 14 minutes after 9 o'clock on a very, very warm Wednesday evening in the windy city of Chicago. Not much wind tonight, but lots of heat. The thermometer is up in the 85-degree range even at this late hour, and we have another warm one on tap for tomorrow. I hope you're getting better weather where you are. Now, I know that's not the case with our friend and trivia contestant Mike, one of our regular visitors. I see he is on the chat board. He's in Louisiana on a work assignment. So batten down the hatches. Don't take any chances. If they tell you to evacuate, why, by all means do so. You know from living in Florida that these hurricanes are not to be messed with, particularly not one that is Category 5. At least it could be within the next few hours. It's currently at Category 4. In the way of exciting news, I have a number of neat things to tell you about some improvements on the website and how we will utilize the chat board and play our trivia game. So we'll get into that right after we take a quick break. This important word from the North Carolina Department of Tourism. The Andy Griffith Show, brought to you tonight, say it with me, by Nabisco. That's right. All right, 16 after 9 o'clock. Now, here's the big news. I have been working on some improvements for the website, and we are going to move it tomorrow. Mark your calendar. We are going to move it tomorrow. And the first big improvement that you will notice is that we have a much more accessible, user-friendly chat board. So everybody will be able to play trivia with us, and it does not require any kind of account. You can log in as a guest. It'll only take you just a second or two to jump on. You don't have to sign up for anything. The audio-visual player will still be the same as you see it. It's going to be piped in from YouTube. Just a slightly different configuration. The only thing you have to remember is to access it, just go to my regular website address, tomedwards.info. And that really is all there is to it. You don't have to do anything different. Once you pull up that web address, starting tomorrow, you will see all of the improvements. Now, if you're listening to us tonight and you're wondering what happened, I shared the website, the new improved website. I gave sort of a sneak peek to certain friends. And if you're puzzled as to why you're not seeing it, we're not unveiling it officially until tomorrow night. So I have to ask you to limp along with us just one more night with the old system. But tomorrow, I've been testing it, road testing it, and having a lot of fun doing it. And thanks to the several friends who have helped me out by being lab rats, being guinea pigs to help get the thing off the ground, I think it's going to work fine. So that starts tomorrow night right here at Radio City. All right, now, speaking of trivia, let's get the game underway. It's our claim to fame, our world-famous Trivia Masters game. And I have the questions in front of me somewhere. Here they are. All right, now here's how we play. We play for Monopoly money, and whoever the most skillful player is, by the end of the broadcast, if whoever has saved up the most Monopoly dollars, they win the evening's grand prize. Tonight we are giving away the third of the orange properties, and that would be, let's see. Oh, yes.
New York is where I'd rather stay.
That's the place, New York Avenue. All right, now remember, no search engines, please, on the honor system. No Google or Yahoo or Alexa or Bing or Siri or any of that. It's much more fun when you draw from your own knowledge. Be careful about multi-part questions. We do those from time to time, and your answer cannot be counted unless you answer all parts of the question. We voted to do away with the spelling rule a week or so ago, so you don't have to worry about that. Just make sure you write it in English, and as long as it's reasonably approximate, close enough for government work, as they say, why, that's all that we need. All right, let's get the game underway. First question of the night. 25 smackolas on the barrel. The category is movies. We could be speaking about Rex Harrison. We could be speaking about Eddie Murphy. And when doing so, we could be speaking about them in the polar bear language. What film am I talking about? All right, $25, movies. You could be speaking about Rex Harrison or Eddie Murphy. And if you are speaking about them, you might be doing it in polar bear language. What film are we talking about? Give it a shot, and good luck. Up next for us, the music of Air Supply for Women's Equality Day. You're every woman in the world.
Overnight scenes, dinner and wine, Saturday girls. I was never in love, never had the time in my hustle and hurry world.
Laughing myself to sleep, waking up lonely. I needed someone to hold me, oh.
It's such a crazy hometown, it can drag you down till you run out of dreams. So you party all night to the music and lights, but you don't know what happiness means.
I was dancing in the dark with strangers, no love around me, when suddenly you found me, oh.
Girl, you're every woman in the world to me. You're my fantasy, you're my reality. Girl, you're every woman in the world to me. You're everything I need, you're everything to me. Oh girl, everything good, everything fine, that's what you are. So put your hand in mine, and together we'll climb as high as the highest star.
I'm living a lifetime in every minute that we're together, and I'm staying right here forever, oh.
Girl, you're every woman in the world to me. You're my fantasy, you're my reality. Girl, you're every woman in the world to me. You're everything I need, you're everything to me. Oh girl, girl, you're every woman in the world to me. You're my fantasy, you're my reality. Girl, you're every woman in the world to me. You're everything I need, you're everything to me. Girl, you're every woman in the world to me. You're my fantasy, you're my reality. Girl, you're every woman in the world to me.
I do love the music of Air Supply. That one instantly transports me right back to the southeast part of Florida in the early 1980s. That was very popular on the radio back then when I first moved to town. 24 minutes after 9 o'clock. Now, as we have already mentioned, today is National Dog Day and also International Women's Equality Day. We have some special features throughout the program to commemorate that. But for the moment, we're talking about our big trivia game, and we have a winner under the movie category. I'll tell you all about that in just a moment.
New from Standard Brands. Soft Bluebonnet Margarine. soft enough to spread on a potato chip. And Bluebonnet did it to demonstrate a great new margarine discovery. New soft Bluebonnet. So soft it spreads on anything. From thinnest crackers to softest white bread. Just taste that great Bluebonnet flavor. And it's low in saturated fat. 2 table service tubs in every pound. Everything's better with Bluebonnet on it.
All right, audience, could we have a round of applause for winner of Trivia Round 1? Good job. That would be Mike, our first winner of the night. Movies category, $25. Rex Harrison or Eddie Murphy speaking in polar bear language? Dr. Dolittle, of course. We could talk to the animals, learn their languages. Yes, the original was Rex Harrison, and they did a cute remake of that starring Eddie Murphy. A $25 win for Mike puts him on the board as our first score for tonight. Now question 2. $20 this time. We're under the category of sweets and treats. The Adams Company has been on and off the market several times over the years. At the present time, they are on. You can once again, at select locations, find their 3 chewing gum products on the shelves. These include Pepsin, Blackjack, and one more unusual flavor of chewing gum. What is it? All right, $20, sweets and treats. The Adams Company has been on and off the market several times over the years. They are on the market now. And they have 3 chewing gum products available in select locations. The flavors include Pepsin, Blackjack, and one more unusual flavor. What is it for 20 Monopoly dollars? Meantime, here's the music of Miss Peggy Lee.
I can wash out 44 pairs of socks and have them hanging out on the line. I can start and iron 2 dozen shirts before you can count from 1 to 9. I can scoop up a great big dipper full of lard from the drippings can. Throw up the skillet, go out and do my shopping, be back before it melts in the pan. 'Cause I'm a woman, W-O-M-A-N. I'll say it again. I can rub and scrub till this old house is shining like a dime. Feed the baby, grease the car, and powder my face at the same time. Get all dressed up, go out and swing till 4 a.m. and then lay down at 5, jump up at 6, and start all over again. 'Cause I'm a woman, a W-O-M-A-N. I'll say it again. If you come to me sickly, you know I'm gonna make you well. If you come to me all hexed up, you know I'm gonna break the spell. If you come to me hungry, you know I'm gonna fill you full of grits. If it's loving you like, and I'll kiss you and give you the shivering fits. 'Cause I'm a woman, W-O-M-A-N. I'll say it again. I got a $20 gold piece, says there ain't nothing I can't do. I can make a dress out of a feed bag, and I can make a man out of you. 'Cause I'm a woman, a W-O-M-A-N. I'll say it again. 'Cause I'm a woman, W-O-M-A-N. And that's all.
Peggy Lee for National Women's Equality Day. I'm a woman. As we look back in time now, for the 26th of August, this date in history. On this date in 1939, the first televised Major League Baseball game was broadcast on the station that would eventually be known as WNBC-TV New York. Cincinnati Reds and Brooklyn Dodgers at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn, New York. And yes, I did say 1939. They did have television on kind of an experimental basis back then, but hardly anybody had any sets to watch. So what good was televising a baseball game, huh? when nobody could see it? But anyway, On this date in 1957, Russia tested an intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM. The Soviet Union announced it had successfully tested the missile capable of being fired to any part of the world. 1964, on this date, Lyndon Johnson was nominated to run for the presidency at the Democratic National Convention in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Running mate was Hubert Humphrey. Yep, this is convention season, all right. Fast forward 4 years, 1968, the Democratic National Convention got underway in Chicago. Thousands of anti-war demonstrators took to the streets to protest the Vietnam War. This was the really infamous convention, 1968, when Old Man Daley turned the cops loose on anti-war protesters in the street. The violence even spilled into the auditorium. CBS newsman Mike Wallace was punched in the face on the convention floor. 1920, on this date, a week prior, Tennessee had become the 36th state to cap off the three-quarters majority. So on this date, the 19th Amendment guaranteeing women the right to vote was formally and officially adopted into the U.S. Constitution. Famous birthdays today: Albert von Saxe-Coburg-Gotha, popularly known to the British by his nickname Bertie. That was Prince Albert, husband consort of Queen Victoria, born 1819. And if you phoned the palace back then, they would say, "I'm sorry, His Royal Highness is in the royal washroom." See, that's why we got the expression, Prince Albert is in the can. Yeah, right. Albert Sabin, scientist and physician who invented the oral polio vaccine, born this date on 1906. And CNN reports today, by the way, that polio has officially been eradicated from Africa. How's that for a nice posthumous birthday present? The late NBC newsman Irving R. Levine, born this date 1922. Former Congresswoman Geraldine Ferraro, nominated as VP running mate for Walter Mondale in 1984. She is celebrating her 85th today. Singer Vic Dana, celebrating number 78. Comic and actress Melissa McCarthy. Oh, remember her for her killer portrayal of Sean Spicer on Saturday Night Live. She turns 50 today. Singer Ariadna Thalia Sodi. We know her better by the stage name Thalia. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I'm not very good with modern pop culture. Mexican actress and singer known as the Queen of Latin Pop, celebrating number 49. A lot of birthdays today. Agnes Bojaxhiu, Southern Asian Indian by parentage, born in Albania. She entered a religious order at age 18. Eventually founded the organization Missionaries of Charity. She was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979, canonized as a Roman Catholic saint in 2016 by Pope Francis. This is quite an entry for National Women's Day. Mother Teresa, St. Teresa of Calcutta. And the last of the birthdays, Macaulay Culkin, child actor. Well, child no longer. The Home Alone kid is 40 years old today. Eek! Well, where did the time go? What happened? Have I been asleep in a cave for 30 years? Macaulay Culkin is 40 today? It's not a misprint. I looked it up. Good heavens. And finally, to end on a musical note, on this date in 1978, from the Grease movie soundtrack, its second hit record taken from the show hit the charts on this date, the musical charts. The Four Seasons, of course, were already big sellers in the world of music, but this was a solo hit for Frankie Valli, and it's the title song from the show.
We got a loving thing, we gotta feed it right.
Grease is the word. Frankie Valli. This time minus the Four Seasons. 9:37 p.m., 23 before 10 o'clock. U.S. Central Time. I just looked something up. Prince Albert died in 1861. There goes my joke about calling the palace and Prince Albert is in the can. The telephone was not invented until 1875. The bathtub was invented in 1850. Now just think of being able to sit in the tub and soak and relax for 25 years without having to get out and answer the darn telephone. But at any rate, Prince Albert could not have been the victim of a cranked telephone call because there weren't any phones yet. I suppose they could have used a tin can and string. All right, we have a trivia winner to tell you all about, and we'll do that after this important word.
Meet Mr. Clean, Procter & Gamble's new all-purpose liquid cleaner.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute.
Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it.
Floors, doors, walls, halls, white sidewall tires, and old golf balls.
Sinks, stoves, bathtubs he'll do. He'll even help clean laundry too.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute.
Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it. Can he clean a kitchen sink?
Quicker than a wink.
Can he clean a window sash?
Faster than a flash.
Can he clean a dirty mirror?
He'll make it bright and clearer.
Can he clean a diamond ring?
Mr. Clean cleans anything.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute.
Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it. Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Lots of good guesses and lots of silly guesses on the board as far as our chewing gum question. Paregoric, oh my goodness, that's a weird pharmaceutical made with opium. I remember that. My great-grandmother used to keep that on hand when I was a kid. I don't think they made a chewing gum that flavor. Garlic, oh please no. Broccoli chewing gum, parsnip, yeah, these are all good guesses. Tea-berry was a good guess, but that's by the Clark Chewing Gum Factory. We're looking for Adams. Big Red is another good guess, but that's a Wrigley product. All right, the correct answer was Mike. Clove is the flavor. Yes, indeed. That's Adams Clove Gum. They make three. They make Pepsin, which is kind of a mild mint flavor, and they make Blackjack, and the one we were looking for was Clove. All right, let's do round 3 of trivia. Here we go with our next question. And by the way, Mike picked up 2 wins in a row, so he's the man to beat right now. He's at $45 on the board. $20 this time, TV trivia, our category. The name of the star is also the name of the show. His supporting players included Ryan Stiles in the role of Lewis, Diedrich Bader as Oswald, and Kathy Kinney as the very sarcastic Mimi. The show took place in Cleveland, a town that rocks. Name the TV program. All right, $20 for the first correct answer. The name of the star is also the name of this show. His supporting players included Ryan Stiles in the role of Lewis, Diedrich Bader as Oswald, and Kathy Kinney as the very clever, very sarcastic Mimi. Tell me the name of the TV show for $20. 9:41 p.m. and sharing the spotlight today, National Women's Equality Day. It is also National Dog Day. Here's a tribute from the Singin' Rage.
How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy is for sale. I must take a trip to California and leave my poor sweetheart alone. If he has a dog, he won't be lonesome, and the doggy will have a good home. How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy is for sale. I read in the papers there are robbers with flashlights that shine in the dark. My love needs a doggy to protect him and scare them away with one bark. I don't want a bunny or a kitty. I don't want a parrot that talks. I don't want a bowl of little fishies. He can't take a goldfish for a walk. How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale.
Patty Page, the Singin' Rage, paying tribute to National Dog Day. I'm kind of afraid to ask what he wants, but you know who just walked in. I think he wants to make an editorial comment on the microphone, Mr. J. Cat Rockefeller. Oh, now watch the language. This is a family show.
Sodium can turn up where you least expect it, even in your antacid tablet. If you're concerned about sodium, what antacid do you take? Tums is sodium-free, and it also neutralizes 1/3 more stomach acid than the other leading brand. Tums lets you do without the heartburn and without all that sodium.
Tum-ta-dum-tum-tum. The name of this antacid is true. Only the stomach has been changed to protect the innocent. Hey, speaking of classic television shows, round of applause for Susan, our winner this round. Good job, Susan. The television show that we were looking for is Drew Carey from Cleveland Rocks. Yes, indeed. 1, 2. 1, 2.
3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. All this energy calling me.
Hey, there's an echo in here. Ohio, 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 Ohio. Good. Drew Carey. The theme from his program was called Cleveland Rocks, and it was the Drew Carey Show we were looking for. Susan racked up a $20 win on that one. You know, Drew Carey is a living example, living personification of that old expression, you can't judge a book by its cover. To look at him, now, at least I think, you know, he looks like kind of a plain Jane, very straight-laced, very serious and sober kind of guy. You'd never realize that he was that good of a comedian. But, you know, he really is funny and talented. He was good on that show, the Drew Carey Show. I got the biggest kick out of the two of them, Mimi and Drew, going at it. And then he was also very good as the host of that game show on cable, Whose Line Is It Anyway? And now he's landed himself a really nice gig. I guess he's still doing it. I don't watch much television, but he was he landed the gig as the host of what was his name? The animal rights guy, Bob Barker. Remember? And now I'm struggling to come up with the name of his show. Oh, my goodness, a brain like a sieve tonight. Yes, The Price is Right. Thank you. Drew Carey, I took a long time to get it out. Drew Carey is now the host of The Price is Right, was the point of that whole swing down the detour street. All right, 9:49, 11 minutes before 10 o'clock. Our trivia scoreboard looks like this. Mike is in the lead with 45, and Susan has 20. We'll do another question coming right up.
The Swinger, the incredible new low-priced Polaroid land camera for black and white pictures in 10 seconds.
Meet the Swinger, the incredible new Polaroid land camera for $19.95. It talks to you. Swing it up and take a look. Then turn the knob until it says yes, right in the viewfinder. Okay, you've got the right setting. 10 seconds later, you zip off a perfect black and white picture. The Swinger freezes action. It's always in focus. And it gives you beautiful close-ups. Incredible. Especially at $19.95.
Hey, meet the Swinger, Polaroid Swinger. Meet the Swinger, Polaroid Swinger.
It's more than a camera, it's almost alive. It's only $19.95.
Swing it up, it says yes. Take the shot, count it down, zip it off. Hey, meet the Swinger, Polaroid Swinger.
Today being National Dog Day, I was just sitting here thinking of a very funny line from a classic movie, The Women, starring Norma Shearer and Joan Crawford, and that ties in with National Women's Equality Day too, by coincidence. But the line I'm thinking of from the show comes near the very end, where they all get the best of Joan Crawford. They kind of gang up on her. Joan says, "There's a word for ladies like you, only it isn't used in polite society outside of a kennel." So that word made me think of a number of people appearing on the stage at the Republican National Convention. So now you know where my mind has wandered off to. Let's see now, where are we? 9:51 p.m. Is it time for another trivia question? I guess it is. Here we go. The dirty word that Joan Crawford would not say in her movie, that's who's on stage at the Republican National Convention, in case I didn't put that across too clearly. All right, it's time for my favorite type of question. Name that tune. We have $25 for you if you're the first correct answer. This was a big, big hit record. 5 weeks at the number one slot in the year 1999. Now, as always, Name That Tune requires 2 answers because we need singer and song. We can't count your entry unless you include both. So again, please include singer and song. $25 for the first correct answer. Here comes your audio clue. Turn up your volume just a little bit. Here we go.
Name that tune.
She's got new addictions for every day and night. She'll make you take your clothes off and go dancing in the rain.
And now, here's more of Radio Classics with your host, Tom Edwards.
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore. And I know too much to go back and pretend. 'Cause I've heard it all before, and I've been down there on the floor. No one's ever gonna keep me down again. Whoa, yes, I'm wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong, I am invincible, I am woman. You can bend but never break me, 'cause it only serves to make me more determined to achieve my final goal. And I come back even stronger, not a novice any longer, 'cause you've deepened the conviction in my soul. Oh yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong, I am invincible, I am woman. I am woman, watch me grow, see me standing toe to toe, as I spread my loving arms across the land. But I'm still an embryo, with a long, long way to go, until I'll make my brother understand. Oh yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I'll pay the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can face anything. I am strong, I am invincible, I am woman. I am woman. I am invincible, I am strong, I am woman.
And that, of course, is probably the champion anthem for Women's Equality Day, Helen Reddy, I Am Woman. Well, we're kind of running short on time. I didn't get around to doing the word of the day.
Word of the day.
The word of the day is the one that Joan Crawford said. It's not used in polite society outside of a kennel, and it starts with B, and it's in honor of the Republican National Convention. All right, off to the trivia game in just a moment.
New from Standard Brands. Soft Bluebonnet margarine. Soft enough to spread on a potato chip. And Bluebonnet did it to demonstrate a great new margarine discovery. New soft Bluebonnet. So soft it spreads on anything. From thinnest crackers to softest white bread. Just taste that great Bluebonnet flavor. And it's low in saturated fat. 2 table service tubs in every pound.
Everything's better with Bluebonnet on it.
All right, congrats to, you know what, you guys confused me now with this. Let's see. We've got multiple entries. Now, the very first one on the board was incomplete because it had song title but no artist. All right, and then I'm reading down. Okay, here we go. Ricky Martin, La Vida Loca is absolutely right. And the first one to come up with a somewhat correct permutation of all of that was Scott. Good job. $25 win. And our scoreboard then looks like this. Mike is in the lead with 70, and Scott just picked up 25, and Susan has 20.
feel a premonition. That girl's gonna make me fall. She's into new sensations, new kicks in the candlelight. She's got new addictions for every day and night. She'll make you take your clothes off and go dancing in the rain. She'll make you live a crazy life, or she'll take away your pain like a bullet to your brain. Upside, inside out, she's living la vida loca. She'll push and pull you down, living la vida loca. Her lips are devil red and her skin's a color mocha. She will wear you out, living la vida loca. Living la vida loca. She's living la vida loca. Woke up in New York City in a funky cheap hotel. She took my heart and she took my money. She must have slipped me a sleeping pill. She never drinks the water, makes you order French champagne. Once you've had a taste of her, you'll never be the same. You should make you go insane. Upside, inside out, she's living la vida loca. She'll push and pull you down, living la vida loca. Her lips are devil red and her skin's a color mocha. She will wear you out, living la vida loca. Living la vida loca. She's living la vida loca.
There we have a big hit from 1999, Ricky Martin, La Vida Loca. And that was our Name That Tune question for tonight. And Scott picked up a $25 win on that one. All right then, here's how our trivia game finishes out. Scott came up with, taking them in order from the bottom up. Susan has 20, and then Scott pulled 25 on that last question. And our grand prize winner tonight would be Mike with $70. Let's have a big round of applause for all of our contestants, first of all. Good job. Y'all done good. And then Mike takes the grand prize home tonight, New York Avenue. All right, it's quitting time. It's 10 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in. I enjoyed it, as always. Now, a reminder, tomorrow night we're going to switch over to our new format, some new gizmos, some things that I know are going to work much better for us. All you have to remember, as far as coming to the website, is just remember the website address. It's tomedwards.info. Okay, tomedwards.info. That's all you need to know, and it'll bring you to the same place tomorrow night, starting at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, 8 Mountain, and 7 Pacific. Tell your friends to tune in. I'd appreciate it. All right. As always, let me remind you now to keep your mask on whenever you go out in public for any kind of errand, and put distance between yourself and anybody not wearing a mask. I care about your safety. Listen to the medical experts. Don't listen to the crazy man in the Oval Office. All right? It's all right. Tom Edwards signing off. All the best to you. Talk to you tomorrow night on our new equipment. Bye for now.